continue with our class laws of the Tzedakah and Maaser. And today we start with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon, and today's topic is infinite merit. As mentioned above, one who seeks to acquire quality of Shmiras Haloshon must strengthen his bitachon, trust in HaShem, so that he will not become upset if someone will cause him any sort of hurt or loss. With a proper bitachon, one will refrain from speaking negatively in such an instance, and will refrain as well from feuding with or shaming the guilty party. Rather, he will be confident that HaShem will replenish his losses in a way that he sees fit. Okay, let's do this paragraph one more time and we're going to explain. So again, the topic is infinite merit. As mentioned above, one who seeks to acquire the quality of Shmiras Haloshon must strengthen his bitachon, trust in HaShem, so that he will not become upset if someone will cause him any sort of hurt or loss. Okay, so what is bitachon has to do with anything? Shmiras Haloshon. So people speak bad about others, right? Because they're hurt, because they think that that's the only way, right, to get back at the person and to get the justice in the world, right? To speak bad about them, to publicize what they did, right? And it says, right, if someone will cause him any sort, not become upset. So if you know that HaShem actually allowed that, right, and he supervised it, and he puts his stamp on that person's action, that they were allowed to hurt us, okay, so it's we have to see it. I understand it's not so easy, but I'm talking to myself first, and of course you also here, that we have to see it as a test, right? That's the next test, and HaShem just sees how we're going to perform. He said, I'm going to give you whatever sustenance, whatever you need, whatever I promise on Rosh Hashanah. Don't worry about it. So it's up to us, right, to take action against that person or leave it to Hashem. With a proper bitachon is a trust, right? Trust in Hashem. With a proper bitachon, one will refrain from speaking negatively in such instances, and will refrain as well as feuding with or shaming the guilty party. So meaning proper one will refrain from speaking negatively about negatively in such instances. Again, if it's not for constructive purpose, so meaning if the person is crook and he's on ramp to hurt others, so then it's our obligation to let other people know, right? To warn them about this dangerous person. It's it's a different story, right? But if it was only against us and that's it, so yeah, we should refrain from feuding with, right, and or shaming the guilty party. Rather, he will be confident that Hashem will replenish his losses in the way he sees fit, meaning when in the way Hashem sees fit. So if he decided that I need this, in need of this money or something, he will restore. If he decided to take it as a payment for some sins, so let it be. Thank you very much, Hashem. You know better, right? You promised me that I'm not going to lose. Okay, so I'm trusting your calculation. My calculation's 0. Okay. Continue. The Talmud states, whoever places his trust in Holy One, blessed be he, will merit that he will be a refuge for him. I mean, Hashem is going to be a refuge for that person in this world and the next, where it says Menachos 29b. This assurance is granted even to those whose trust is not predicated on desire to honor God's name. Surely then one will merit this reward if he refrains from argument out of concern that he might utter that which is Torah prohibits. Moreover, one who refrains from exacting the rightful measure in double quotes, out of the concern that Hashem's name not be desecrated, and instead places his trust in him, will surely merit the infinite reward. Okay, so let's read it again, and we're going to explain. So the Talmud says, whoever places his trust in the Holy One, blessed is he, will merit that he will be a refuge for him in this world and the next. So meaning, is saying, HaShem, you're in charge. Whatever you do, I'm in, right? So, and then HaShem is going to take care of the things in this world and the next in the next world, and he's going to resolve the things even better that you could have imagined, right? So because he has in his mind infinite possibilities, but we are very, very limited. So it's better let him to do the job. Okay. This assurance is granted even to those whose trust is not predicated on a desire to honor God's name. Right, so it's very interesting sentence. So one more time. This assurance is granted even to those whose trust is not predicated on desire to honor HaShem name. So it's not like, even if a person does not do it for lishma, for a mitzvah itself, right? But he's to preserve God's honor, not to do Hil HaShem, not to cause over punishment to that person, right? None of the above, but still, even if it's not for the sake of for the sake of Hashem's name, even in that person is going to be rewarded. That's a great assurance. Surely then one will merit the reward if he refrains from argument out of concern that he might utter that which is Torah prohibits. Right, and needless to say, one who does not want to get into arguments, he said to himself, if they answer this to me, I would need to answer that, and maybe I overstep the boundary, and in a fit of anger, I'm going to say something very insulting, maybe to him, to his family, to other things. So maybe it's better, or most likely it's better not to get involved. Moreover, one, right? So he's doing, his concern is not to make any Torah prohibitions, not to violate Torah prohibitions. Meaning by saying something that is very offensive or embarrassing and stuff like that. Moreover, one who refrains from exacting the rightful measure. So, and exacting the rightful measure in double quotes. So some people think that they have to exact the measure, because they owe me, because this and that, so they have to pay. Okay, that's how society operates, right? Out of the concern, so why he's refraining? Out of the concern that Hashem's name be desecrated, meaning maybe that person would be very, very stubborn, and he would go and counter-attack at us and make the situation even worse and get other people involved in this, right? So if person's concern is not to desecrate Hashem's name, right, and instead places trust in him, in Hashem, meaning let him deal with situation. I'm only there to watch, right? So you told me to keep quiet, I'm going to keep quiet. You told me that you're going to take care of the situation. Okay, take care of the situation. You know what to do. Okay. So right, will surely merit the infinite reward, that person. Okay, as we said, in this world and the world to come. As we said many times, this world was not created for suffering, and this world was not created for a reward or enjoyment. For a reward and enjoyment, we have Gan Eden, and for suffering, we have Gehinnom. Here in this world, it's only a test. Okay. Any questions on what we said? Okay, so no questions, so let's continue then. So we continue with this chapter. It's a very long chapter, Baruch Hashem, because we go through the many, many details. And now topic is deductions from Maaser. We're in section, let's look, section C, 1 second, let me quickly see. So section C, and our big topic is business-related equities. Okay. So let's see, next one. Other practical applications. So about this equity, last thing that we say, it's if a person actually acquires something for his business, he bought a car, a truck, right, office equipment, computer. So to say that you can write off from your profit, also it's not true, because you got it, like you can use it, right? It's not like taxes or I don't know, like what is salary to employee. You paid it and you don't have anything. But computers you do have. Okay. Okay. So next one, other practical application. A. if one were to have his business office at home, he may not deduct any part of his house, thereby limited Maaser obligation. This is because one primary purpose is purchasing or renting house is for his personal use. For example, if one were to use 1/5 of his house for his business, he may not deduct 1/5 of the rent or mortgage as a business expense. However, any costs of running the business, for example, electricity, heat, etc., may be deducted as a business expense prior to separating Maaser. A Rav should be consulted in a case where a person bought the house specifically because it had a room that could be used for the business. Okay, so let's do it again, and we'll see, because the government law is a little different. Okay, so is it different? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but let's do this again, and we're going to explain. If one were to have his business office in a house, so if he pays rent somewhere, that's clear cut. He can write off everything, right, from his income. He may not is in bold, deduct any part of his house, thereby limited Maaser obligation. Meaning, if he can, like he has his study room, his office, whatever room, and he would have it anyway. It's not like it's extra room. He or she decided to start their own business, and now this room is going to be their office. Okay, that's it. So in this case, you're not allowed to to deduct the part of the mortgage or rent, wherever is it, from this Maaser. Okay. This is because one's primary purpose, purchase or renting the house, is for personal use. So, of course, example, as he said at the end, if, for example, in where I live, right, there are houses and there is like basement. And there is a basement that actually, like, usually people don't live in a basement, even though they do, right? But officially, in our zoning, you can have your office in a basement, right? If you go in only your office, not somebody, you cannot rent to somebody else, but you, for example, on our block we have one time 2 dentists, right? Where I live, we used to have in the basement was the insurance broker. The owner was an insurance broker. Okay, so I mean that's so I'm not sure if they when they were these people were buying these apartments with intention to have a business. Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm not sure. But if it was his intention, he specifically bought bigger, like this configuration, in order so he would have office. So that's a different story. That's a totally different story. But here we say if person has a regular apartment, right, and they want to use one room for their office, right? So in this case, would not be allowed. Right. So for example, if one were to use the 1/5 of his house for his business, he may not deduct 1/5 for the rent or mortgage or business expense. Absolutely not. Okay. I mean, if you need the furnish differently, if you receive customers, that's a different story. If you need to build a separate entrance, if they allow that would be business expense. But otherwise, they're not. However, any cost of the running the business, for example, electricity. Again, electricity is not such a easy thing to calculate because it's 1 meter, but I guess proportionally you can heat. Also, unless somebody have a separate zoning, So the heat, usually it's like central heat. It just works for the whole house. I mean, I guess you can calculate. So all of these things that only that connect to business may involve be deducted from business expenses prior to separating Maaser. A Rav should be consulted where the person bought a house specifically because it had a room that could be used for the business, right? As we said, like in your basement or something, right? So that's a different story. Okay, continue. B. One who purchases item for his business and deducts them as a business expense, according to more lenient opinion, see section C, is not permitted to use those items exclusive for his personal use unless he gave Maaser for the cost of these items. For example, one who bought a desk for $500 and deducted it as a business expense, according to those who permit it, would be able to use it exclusive for personal use only if he paid his business $500. However, if the value of the desk depreciated over the years and is now worth less, he may keep it for his personal use if he pays his business fair market value of the desk. So it's very, very interesting. We're going to explain, and many people, secular people or some people who are not very honest, they would use it like they would use the business card for personal expenses, for sure, right? They will buy something like for a business, but actually use it for a personal. So now let's do it again with this desk. It's very interesting. One who purchases items for his business and deducts them for business expense, according to more lenient opinion. So we said there are two opinions. One is like straightforward, like accounting opinion, that you got some equity. You cannot just write off the equity like your expenses because you got something in return. And the first it's a second. In the first opinion that yes, it was a business expense, you can write off. Okay, no problem, right? So if we go by the first opinion, more lenient, okay, but still there exists. So if needed, I'm not sure what is it like. This is in my mind. Just my personal opinion. Since it is a 10% that we're going to donate, it's not such a big expense. It's not like if you do like this more strict opinion, your whole life is going to crash. I don't think so, right? It's only 10%. So if it's you struggle so much that 10% of income, it's like huge for that's you have to start maybe different business. Understand? That's not good. It's not good. Okay. Or the problem with shkafa. Right, because a person is trying to cheat the system. Okay, the laws are given to us to abide by them, not to try to circumvent them. Okay. Okay. So if person bought this desk, and according to the first opinion, he was able to write off completely this $500, right? So he cannot use it exclusively for his personal use. I mean, in the personal use that he did not even bring this to his office. So he gave it to his kids, for example, right? Computer desk. Bought it on his business card, write off as a business expense, and he said, you know what, my desk that I got on the flea market for $30 is still good, so I'm going to use that one, right? But to kids, I'm going to buy for $500. So that's of course it's not going to work. Right, unless as we said, if he pays back, if he wants to use exclusively for personal use this desk, so he has to pay his business $500, right? If it depreciates after the years, fair market value, whatever is it. It's very interesting. Okay, C, next one. Similarly, one who must be careful when purchasing business supplies, such as pens, paper, and etc., to make sure not to deduct as a business expense the amount he uses for personal needs. So a person is not going to purchase like all of this business supplies separate for a business and separate for himself. I mean, if he buys like a pack of pens, right, like 10, so he would use that like, let's say 8 for the business and 2 for himself. Like he's not going to buy 10 or 20 for himself. Does not make sense. He does not need so many, right? But when writing off, so he cannot write off 10, right? Because he's going to use for personal right, for personal needs. Any questions? What was said? We'll continue. Okay. No question. Yeah, question?
Yeah, there's a question on the board. HaShem, please correct me if I didn't understand well. If a person owns a house or apartment, he also has his office there, and he gains, for example, $100. His Maaser will be $10 and $20 if he has more bitachon.
I apologize, sorry, I didn't get the question. The person has an apartment, and then this apartment has an office, and he gains $100 from his business. I didn't get say it again, please.
Yeah, it says, and he gains, for example, $100. His Maaser will be $10 and $20 if he has more bitachon.
Yes, yeah. So basically, the idea is, if you did not plan in advance. For example, I'll give you an example. So you move into a new apartment, and technically for your family, 2-bedroom is enough. Technically, right? But you said no. You know what? I want the special rooms, a separate room, so I can have my office in there. Right? So I have my privacy, my office in there for business. So, and you, instead of renting 2-bedroom, you rent in 3-bedroom. And 3rd bedroom is exclusively for business. So yes, you can deduct. There is no problem, right? But because otherwise you would rent only 2-bedroom. But if you're talking about existing apartment, and you've been living this apartment for a long time, right? It doesn't matter. Your house, you rent it, that doesn't matter, right? So now you decided to start your own business. So it's exactly the same apartment. It's like you're not doing anything special. Of course, if you need new computer, new landline, new fast internet, that's a different story. Yes, you can. So you can subtract or whatever the difference. For example, landline, internet line, right? So if for myself, we're going to use. So for example, in my house, we used 300 megabits for many years, and like 5 years ago, so we said they raised the price. I said, like, well, what's going on? Give me the cheapest service. I mean the lowest. We don't use internet that much, only for classes. Sometimes, I don't know. That's it. Some like basic stuff. We don't play games. We don't watch movies. We don't need very fast internet. I mean, checking emails for us, right? And they told me that we raised the price for you because why? The plan no longer exist for a long time. It's gone. So the minimum plan is 500 megabits. You understand? So we switched to 500 megabits, and they gave us discount. So, but for example, it's unbelievable, right? So, but if 500 megabits is not enough for you, right? And you want a kilobyte, you want a gigabyte, you want a 2 gigabytes of internet, for example, right? So yeah, so you compare what you would buy anyway. Like I would buy the minimum. Right, and then you add. This is for your personal expense, but the second part, whatever you need for business, you can write off. So that's the idea. Because I bought this speedy internet only for business, not for myself. Got it? That's basic idea. So But if you have existing apartment, you make your own business, it's not like you're not investing in anything. Unless, as we said, computer, internet, furniture, stuff like that. Okay. Any other questions? We continue.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Okay, very good question. So this question bothers me. This $100. If it's if it was like just random example, $100, yeah, that's the answer is you're right 100%. You're correct. But if it was actually like actual example, like a person that makes the bare minimum, and it's not going to enough person to survive and to pay for his or her own expenses, that's person is not obligated to give anything to Maaser. You understand? So that's I just have to say it. So if person is very poor, like barely make his living or her living, and now they're not going to able to eat because of this Maaser. So hardly eat, would skip a meal or two. So of course you're not obligated. Maybe in some cases even not allowed to to separate Maaser. Okay, so section D, the depreciation. Even according to most stringent opinion mentioned above, that when one receives equity in return for the money, he may not deduct that as a business expense. One would, however, be permitted to deduct any depreciations of the item as an expense, and that's what they do in secular law. Therefore, if one purchases $20,000 car for a business, for the business, and every year the car depreciates in value, one may deduct depreciation as an expense, since as a result of his business use, he has lost that amount of equity in a car. However, there is a dispute among the poskim regarding at what point one may deduct the depreciation. Some maintain that one may deduct depreciation value each year according to how much it is now worth. Okay. Others maintain that one may deduct only the total depreciation once he has disposed of the item. Whichever method is chosen should be used consistently. Generally, one may determine the value of depreciation by the amount established for its resale value. Okay, so let's do this again, because this is very practical, right? Because of course you need to buy equipment, like better computers. So yeah. So me personally, in my life, I bought on a few computers. All of them were new, but we use it until it's no longer possible to use. It's like the system, like a last computer we replaced, it was still working, but so slow because after all of the upgrades, it was like a dead. It was like it was not possible to upgrade nothing. So yeah. It was very interesting, but so of course you in this case we can write off the depreciation. I would do the first methods, like gradually, which makes sense. Like when you bought it was this amount, next year this amount, and that amount. That's it. Okay, but let's see. Okay, depreciation. Even according to more stringent opinions mentioned above, that when one received equity in return to the money, he may not deduct that for business expense. So we go by the most stricter opinion. We say, yeah, how can you deduct this computer from your Maaser, right? Because you got the computer, right? It is there, right? So one would, however, be permitted to deduct any depreciation of the item as expense, right? So. So you can deduct this item as the depreciation, as expense, the depreciation. So for example, if somebody in a house, like build a new roof or something, like did some major improvement, like heater, boiler, all this like great things. They're not going to like allow you to write off the whole amount. There is a special like schedule they give you that depends on an appliance, depends on like what kind of renovation. So they give you like 3 years, 5 years, 25 years, 20 years. Depends on the thing, right? So right, that's what we are also allowed to do here. Okay. Therefore, if one purchased $20,000 car for the business, and every year the car depreciates in value, meaning because it was used for in the business, I don't know, like a little truck to do deliveries, so many miles, so many wear and tear. Like of course it's not new, so it costs much less because of the mileage and stuff like that, right? Depreciation value. One may deduct the depreciation as an expense, right? As an expense, since as a result of the business use, the lost amount of the equity in a car. So because you have so many miles on this car, even the car of the same year, the same model, because of one was heavily used, right, and one was lightly used, right? So that's the thing, right? So because the more you use, the less it costs, right? So you can of course get approximate price. There are many websites where you can estimate how much it's going to cost. I'm talking about cars. However, there is a dispute among the poskim regarding at what point one may deduct the depreciation. Okay, so here we go. So two opinions. One said every year, which is makes more sense to me personally, and I will explain why. Because you never know how long you're going to have this business. So like it's better to have this saving this year, maybe give write off this year, then the next year, maybe who knows if we're going to have business next year, right? Don't wait until a complete depreciation. Others maintain one may deduct only the total depreciation once it has disposed of the item, like maybe 15 years from now. Like it does not make sense. Whichever method is chosen should be used consistently. So that's consistently is not an underline here, but I would say it's a keyword. So don't pick and choose. I think in the business accounting it's the same, right? You have to like take be very very consistent, like with your deductions. Okay. Generally, one may determine the value of depreciation by amount established in a resale value. As we said, it's not like, of course, it's not going to be to the penny exactly, but approximately like plus minus, I would say 15-20% you can get the price. Okay, so let's do the next one. Any questions before we continue on what we said? Depreciation. Okay. So continue. E. Educational expenses to increase business acumen. Okay. Often, in order to succeed in business, one has to take a course or seminar to enhance his earning power. One is permitted to deduct the cost of these courses as a business expense. Okay, that's straightforward. Okay. Similarly, one who went to school to earn a degree with intention using it to learn a livelihood would be permitted to deduct the tuition and other costs spent on one's schooling once he started earning money using that degree. Therefore, for example, one who had outlay $100,000 in student loans in order to become a doctor would not have to separate Maaser from the first 100,000 earned. Okay, so let's see from the beginning, and we see the education, right? Educational expense increase the acumen. Often, in order to succeed in a business, one has to take a course or seminar to enhance the earning power. Sometimes you need the license, sometimes you need this plaque, this right, on your wall or something, right? So and all things, of course, they cost money. It's not free. So if you think that it's going to help your business or right, so that's not a problem. You can write off, or you need to send one of the employees. One is permitted to deduct the cost of these courses as a business expense. So meaning if you are already in a business. Similarly, one who went to school to earn a degree with intention of using it to learn livelihood would be permitted to deduct the tuition and other costs spent in one's schooling once he started earning the money using that degree. So meaning the only reason person went to the school to earn degrees is to make money. So it's like a business investment in some sense. So he had like a first pay or take, most likely to take loans, right? And then with intention to pay back, right? So like even though like where we live, in the city at least where we live, there is a law. It's very funny that senior citizens can take free college courses, free. So they actually do. They have nothing to do in the house, and now they want to learn Greek history. So they sign up. Is it after 65? I don't know. I think it's all of the senior citizens, right? So and they get degrees, bachelor degree, master's degree, right? It's very interesting, right? I'm not sure why they need degrees. So that if they would pay for that, it would be completely way. Of course, I hope. Unfortunately, some of them are Jews as well, but what a waste of life. But yeah. But here in this case, that's for sure. If person goes to get this degree to be this doctor or car mechanic or whatever it needs to be, that's for sure. He did not go just learn about the cars and work in a different profession, right? So he went to be in this business, right? So you can write off. Therefore, for example, one who had to outlay $100,000 in student loans in order to become a doctor would not have to pay a separate Maaser from the first $100,000 on because he just got them back. Okay, this money back. Next one, possible business deal. One is allowed to deduct business expense for a proposed business deal, whether or not it was successful. One may do so even if at time when he incurred the expense, it was not sure if the business deal would come to pass, since it is necessary aspect of doing business. For example, one who traveled to meet a potential client, and the client did not end up doing business with him, would still be permitted to deduct the travel costs as a business expense. Okay, so let's do it again. We're going to examine proposed business deal, meaning that I'm not sure what is the percentage, how many meetings a person would sign up a client. Maybe out of 20, I don't know, maybe 3, 5, I don't know, but for sure not 50%. I mean, maybe some of them do, but it's not a lot, right? But it's still worth it for them to incur the business expenses, right? So one more time, one is allowed to deduct business expense for a proposed business deal, whether or not it was successful, meaning that the person has to fly there or drive there and stay there and maybe take this customer out and maybe the whole office out. And we have a guy who used to come for us. Sometimes he would stay over for Shabbos. He was in business. What was his business? So cash advance is a pale compared to that business. Was a business to sell drugs to like pharmaceutical. He would represent pharmaceutical companies, right? And he would tell like it was everything was official. So he would come. He would arrange the meeting with the office, right? So he would give gift cards to the doctors, and he would take the whole staff out to the restaurant. So they have after work or lunch to buy lunch, and he would spend $500, $600 just for the lunch for everybody, doctors, everybody, like the best lunch possible. Why? Because in return they would count how many prescriptions these people are going to write. It's unbelievable. The guy tried to sell us something. I say, you normal, but we ask this guy around the table, but are you sure about the medicine that you sell? He said, who cares about the medicine? Like I just need to to get the numbers, right? So how many prescription they fill? Unfortunately, I understand people die, people survive. Who cares? I mean that's what's the business, right? So basically they were able to pay ahead to all of these lunches, to all of this they were gifts to the whole office, like unbelievable, right? To everybody, absolutely everybody. Of course, the doctors are the biggest receivers, right? In order to promote the drugs. So of course, like you can write off everything. Okay. So right, and we said doesn't matter it was successful, not successful, but why? Because it's a necessary aspect of doing business. Okay, so all the travel. So of course he would travel from office to office, take car service, this delivery, that delivery, so whatever they want. Very interesting, right? And he would tell us like all the story how people would like in the medical office. I mean, the receptionists, they're not the highest paid people, so he would send them breakfast before he would come at lunch, so everybody would anticipate his coming. Unfortunately. Okay, continue. Any questions before we continue?
Okay.
Yes, let's go ahead.
If we are in the process of converting, we financially benefited from a Yom Tov, and this financial benefit was greatly deteriorated. Is this deductible? For example, if we financially benefited from Yom Tov and bought a laptop, and the laptop was greatly damaged shortly after, or is the financial benefit uncountable from its origin?
I apologize. I think there are a few questions in one. Could you please read it again? So if in practical conversion, so you're not obligated, it's expected for you, but you're not obligated to keep Yom Tov. So if you bought something on Yom Tov, there is it's not like anybody broke any halacha. You understand? So it's like it's proper to, but after the fact there is nothing against. So if Jew do it's huge consequences. But for non-Jew, it's not proper, but it's not going to held against them. Okay, go ahead, please. One more time, please.
Okay, so if we are in the process of converting and we financially benefited from a Yom Tov, and this financial benefit was greatly deteriorated, is this deductible? For example, if we financially benefited from Yom Tov and bought a laptop, and the laptop was greatly damaged shortly after, or is the financial benefit uncountable from its origin?
So the way I understand the situation, correct me if I'm wrong. So the person in practical conversion bought something on Yom Tov. Let's say this laptop, it was on sale. I don't know. Right, and then 3 weeks later it fell into the bathroom or something. So greatly damaged. So the question is if you can write it as depreciation. I mean, right.
I don't know if our friends referring to buying the actual laptop on Yom Tov or benefiting, like getting money on Yom Tov and buying a laptop with the money that he got on Yom Tov. I don't know if this
there is again, in the process of conversion, there is no problem. It's not proper, but to say the person is going to be punished for that, absolutely not. And can somebody write off? I don't think so. No, writing off, whatever we were talking about up until now, it's in a business expense. So somebody bought this laptop for their business, and now it got damaged. For example, it was $1,000 laptop, and now it's damaged. Maybe I can sell it for parts to this guy for $300. So yes, you can deduct it because you need to buy a new one. That's what is different. It's going to be like business expense. But if I bought this laptop for myself and I throw it to the garbage, or something happened, I spilled coffee on it, or what people do with laptops, there is no write-off. Understand? So that's the thing. I mean, if we got the question correctly. So up to now, we're talking about business expense, where a person bought to make business, and it was some deterioration. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So there's another question. If we bought a laptop for business and during personal use it is severely damaged, are we allowed to deduct it from Maaser?
I don't think so. I mean, as the person said, it's a personal use, so it was not business use. So technically, were we allowed to use it? And technically, yes, we're allowed. Like we're not obligated. Like for example, if we have a small business, I'm working for myself. I sell, I don't know, something, right, on the internet. So I'm not obligated to have two different computers. One from to check my personal emails, and the second one to check my business email. Right? It's ridiculous. Nobody's going to use it, or nobody's going to buy two computer desks. I mean, the apartment's small as it is. So this is more for work, and this is for pleasure. I mean, people might do it like for convenience, but otherwise, usually people have one computer, the way I understand, and people have one desk, right, and one chair, like a computer chair, unless they have a lot of space. Right, so in this case, you would not like if it was damaged during the personal use. I don't think you can write off. I don't think so, because as the person said, yes, you were allowed to use it for personal use, but it was damaged not during the business hours. It has nothing to do with the business. Okay. What else? Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. So I'm not sure, should we go ahead? The next section is very long. I would leave it for the next time. Okay, so let me see if we have any questions. Tell me. Any questions on any topic?
Yes, I think there's a question on the board. It was written on the board before the class. It says, Tzaraas, with dentists and doctors, if we are assigned a doctor that is an opposite gender,
okay, how do
laws of niddah and Yichud apply?
That's okay. That's a very good question. So there's usually no problem with Yichud. For example, if a dentist or something like there's usually like he has an assistant or she has an assistant, doesn't matter. Guy or lady, of course you're trying to go to a dentist. For example, you go to the same sex doctor, right? There are many great women doctors, so just go to them, right? And if for example there is in a dentist to whom I go, so he's a Jewish guy, but he has all the female assistants, right? So of course sometimes they do a lot of work, like all the preparation. So even though we're together in a room, but the door is always open. So people come and they peek, and it's like too much going on. So there is no problem with Yichud. It's not like you can close the door and nobody's going to bother you. For sure not. And in other offices, for example, where you live in if guy is gynecologist, for example. So the law of the state requires, like when he does examination, the assistant be in the same room always. It's not like she needs to take a lunch or take a phone call. Absolutely not, right? So like they absolutely require somebody there. Okay. So, and the doctors, of course, they say, Gemara says that doctors are into their work, they're not into craziness. Of course, we know they're crazy doctors. They, crazy people, always. But since it is his profession and he sees it every time, it's like every day, so many times, it's not like he's not into like illicit thoughts, usually. Because especially in our society, if somebody is going to complain and sue him and he's going to lose license, God forbid, like it would not worth it for him, unless, as we say, he's absolutely crazy. But most of them are not crazy, at least, right? They're crazy about money, right? So that's or something. So they make money. That's enough. Okay. So that's why in most of the cases there is no problem with the doctors, because there are many people in the office. They can come in at any time, right? And Shoman, I mean, of course, they're touching, but they're touching professionally, so they usually no extra touches, usually. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Shalom Kalavat. I have encountered sources who say that the fast of Esther is kept according to the time in Israel. Is this correct information?
No, that's sources. I mean, in Israel you go by Israel time. In other places you go by the local time. I'm not sure what somebody would say so. So the fast starts with a daybreak, which is not according to Israel, according to you, where you live, and finish with a nightfall according to where you live, not according to Israel. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, okay. Next question, Shalom Kalav. Is it a bad thing for people to connect to sensuality? Assume they behave modestly publicly. Should one try to completely eradicate their sensuality as a negative niddah? Or can this be tuned into a constructive thing for marriage?
I think it should be tuned for a constructive thing for marriage, 100%. Yes. Of course, we had it in public, and it's Shulchan Aruch said you're not allowed to show any affection to your own spouse. Like even she's not niddah, so you cannot hold hands in public or something, or show some other affections. You understand? So that's not for us. But when you're private, absolutely, that's amazing. Right. So don't eradicate it. Just use it appropriate in the right time with the right person. Yeah.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So I have this question about delaying conversion.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that if the person does some things to procrastinate or delay his conversion, he's going to be punished afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So my question, how does this apply, or how does this work, considering the person is a whole completely new person after conversion? Like, this delaying was something he did before converting, so how does this apply to him after he converts? This punishment.
Well, that's an amazing question, right? But in some sense, it's the same human being, but different soul. So the physical body is the same, but the soul is going to be different, right? But the other soul, it's not like that the person had before, does not disappear completely. You understand? It's swallowed by the new soul, but that's the thing. So in some sense, a person is going to be punished, as you said, Gemara said, that why you, if it was truth, right, the Judaism was truth, why you procrastinate for so long, right? And there are some people like that, and I know some people like that this in the process for 10 years more, right? But because like from I'm talking about my experience. I don't have a very big experience, but from my personal experience, the biggest issue is money. Right? People cannot just afford to move to Jewish community. Like literally, it's not like like 20% difference, 30% difference pay, right? And so like you might count and get a job. So people they live in some suburbs, like away from Jewish community, and they want to move, but it's going to be like the rent is going to be double, so they hardly pay those expenses. So that's from my experience is the biggest issue that that I say. And in some countries it's not. It's there is huge country. There is many Chabad houses, but there is no real minyan. But sometimes they count people, but it's not real minyan. If you go by the real the God-fearing people, like places, it's only few, right? And it's in a capital. So in the capital, it's always like much more expensive. You understand? But of course, like once you start living in the capital or like a big city, you get used to these prices, and it's like you heard that in some suburbs they pay like half whatever you pay, but it's like HaShem compensates, right? But of course I can tell it to myself, but to tell to others like they must do it or they have to do it, I'm not going to tell. It's personal decision, but mathematically that's the biggest issue that I encountered. Like the people have like not even close, right? So that's the issue, number one. So are they going to be blamed? In this case, I don't think so. But if a person can pay like I don't know, like even 30%, okay, 30% increase, HaShem is going to compensate. There is no problem, right? But if it's 2 or 3 times more, it's not so realistic. You have to be a very big believer to do that. Okay, so of course we don't push anybody, we don't offer like somebody asked advice, like practical, so we don't count on miracles. Of course, we're not allowed to count on miracles. So we're a person, so in person, this situation, he's not or she's not going to be punished for procrastinating. But others people, so I heard only from Rabbi Reuven, and he sent me these few students, they never joined. Because they were busy making money, right? Like, I don't know. So, and some were there in process, but I don't know what happened, basically, right? So they had money, but they still were like in thinking in what community to move. So that's the issue. Those at least one person, yes, he would be. Hopefully not. Hopefully by now he moved to the righteous community, but at that point he had I don't know. He said why he had a conversation like we had why it's so expensive. I said, well, like why you asking me like what I'm controlling the rent prices, the housing price. Like why you asking me? That's that's reality. You want to live in a Jewish community, live in Jewish community. You don't live in cheaper community. There is there is famous Lakewood. So if somebody ever been to Lakewood, there is Lakewood, Jewish Lakewood, and just 2 blocks. It's original Lakewood, like with like rundown houses, like very poor neighborhood. People are probably on welfare, most likely, right? Public assistance and okay. So but I'm sure that the rents are there very, very cheap. Okay, so but you choose where you want to live. Okay. But for like again, from my experience, the biggest showstopper. And some people do not want to learn. That's the biggest. Like they're too lazy. They're too lazy to learn. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, next question. Question about family purity laws.
Mm-hmm.
When the wife is niddah, is she allowed to exercise at home when the husband is there?
It's very good. It's very good. It's a very good question. I would say it would not be proper. So if he would look at her, that's can create some ideas in his head. But if he's not in the room, she's not going to exercise for 3 hours. I hope. It's for some time. Maybe he would go. I don't know, to learn something, to have a dinner or something, to learn for an hour or so, 40 minutes, so she can exercise. But in front of him, I don't think it's a good idea. So we try not to provoke anybody. Right.
Thank you, Reuven.
You're welcome.
So, and I have this question about Pirkei Avot. It's a little long.
Okay, go ahead.
So, in this Mishnah that says, Rabban Gamliel, the son of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, says, Torah study is acceptable together with an occupation. For exertion of them both makes sin forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
This is, of course, the first part of the Mishnah. And on this, Meiri says, only by striving to maintain proper ethical conduct, in addition to their Torah knowledge. Okay, this is speaking about leaders, Torah scholars and leaders of community. Says, only by striving to maintain proper ethical conduct, in addition to their Torah knowledge, can they earn the confidence of the community and assure that the masses will be willing to overlook their occasional lapses. I was wondering, why is that? Like, if they're engaging into this secular activities along with the Torah study, why would this be a reason for the community or the masses to overlook their occasional lapses or flaws? I was wondering.
Could you read this maybe again? I think so. Are we talking about the leaders of the community or regular people?
Yes, there's the leaders. I mean, at the beginning of the it says for the Torah scholar whose job is to serve as the ethical and religious compass of the community. I would say this.
No. It's not leader. So compass is meaning that everybody are looking up at that person. That does not have to be a leader. So meaning that he's the most religious person, according to them. So and compass meaning that they whatever he does, like a proper, they expect of him to do the proper thing, and they would copy. But okay, so let's continue. What else?
Yeah, I mean, people that just the people that others look up to, as called the said, like,
okay,
they set the example or are influential, if you will. I don't know. It says only by striving to maintain proper ethical conduct, in addition to their Torah knowledge, can they earn the confidence of the community and assure that the masses will be willing to overlook their occasional lapses.
So meaning if person is very respectful and very in general, and sometimes some occasional lapses, I'm not sure how big a lapse is, because you see, if I do something that maybe nobody's looking, but when this great person does something, everybody is looking and everybody know what he's going to do, so it might be a big hill HaShem. So I'm not sure exactly if they would give example what kind of occasional lapses, maybe something not big, something not big, right? But Torah scholars, they have a different responsibility. right? So we cannot just act the way we want. We have to understand that all people are watching, Jews and non-Jews, religious and especially not religious people. They look how whatever we said and whatever with what attitude we said it, and they expect us to be more merciful, more generous, and more everything together. Understand? So it's not so simple, right?
Thank you, Rabbi. So, no, I just still can't connect this concept of
occasional lapses.
Yeah, I know the occasional lapses is okay, but the fact that they engage into these activities and they are Torah scholars, both scholars, and they have a job, and this is what the Mishnah is referring to. This would be a reason for other people to overlook this lapses. I don't see why is that. I don't understand.
I mean, if person generally like a proper person, right? Sometimes he would do mistake. Nobody. I mean, I would say we need more information, because it's opposite issue. Opposite issue, because if somebody like does something, right? So they would somebody told me like was involved in some situation. A few people say why don't you be more merciful? Okay, thank you very much for suggesting that. You understand? So people give me many advices in that situation, not like unsolicited advices. Very interesting. So because they try to build me up or something, I don't know. You understand? So I'm not sure what he meant there. So usually people, if somebody like they were looking up to, and person like stumbled, he's a faker, she's a faker. So that's the way. I mean, at least from my experience. Okay. So people looking to degrade somebody, right? Because if somebody is a respectable person, so that's why HaShem said you're not allowed to say to make a compliment in a room, right? In a room when you know there is enemies of that person, right? That you want to praise. And even if there are just many people, you're also not allowed to make a compliment. And HaShem said why? Because most likely there is some envy people, right? The jealous people, not even like jealous people of that person. And if you over praise them, it's like you pushing the red button for them to say, that's what I think of him. You know what happened in 1975? I'm going to tell you when we were in the third grade. I'm going to tell what happened. You understand? So we don't provoke people, because people are jealous and they are looking for flaws in everybody. So I'm not sure why they would be willing to overlook. Maybe it's like a community leader, very respectable, but I'm not sure. We need I would say more information.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Yes, I'm going to have to delve more into the mission and see if I can find something else.
Okay.
Okay, so next question. On the board, Shankalahab. Has it been said that Pharaoh was dead because he had Tzaraas?
Mm-hmm.
If we have an allergy to yeast and leaven bread that causes symptoms like Tzaraas,
mm-hmm.
Can these symptoms cause delay of giyur?
I don't think so. No. This allergy had nothing to do with Tzaraas. Tzaraas was a spiritual disease when somebody would speak Haloshon haram. You understand? So that's spiritual. Not, of course, it was represented in this world as some physical disease, but it has nothing to do. As if you read the Torah description, the person would be isolated. So there are no medicine, no creams, no bandages, no like compresses, nothing, absolutely nothing, right? Because it was spiritual. So a person had to be isolated, meaning to put like isolated, meaning outside of the camp and not with other people. That's isolated means, right? Not isolated with 7 people like them together. No, it's not isolation. So a person would think about his situation, his or her situation. Why? What brought me in this situation? That the whole family is there. They celebrated Shabbos, and I'm here like in the woods somewhere, in a cabin. You understand? With wolves roaming around, right? And that's what bring a person to the thoughts of the shore, right? But it has nothing to do with any allergy. Okay, so the bottom line, no, it's not the reason so that is going to delay the conversion.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Sean Palavat. Question about family education.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if parents are allowed to let the kids to write their wish item and put it in a box and reward the kid in a lottery format when appropriate. Would this be too similar to gambling and give bad education?
I think so, yes. I mean, I think so because you see, we have to like carve, like work on these wishes of the children. In a sense, so they would wish only the proper things. Otherwise, like if they watch TV or something, they talk to people on the street, the kids on the street. So all of these wishes would be absolutely improper. In a sense, so don't do it. So direct them to the holy wishes. Right? They would desire only holiness. You understand? To be as great sages, patriarchs, matriarchs. So don't give them free ride. It's not going to. It's going to finish with and end up with disaster, guaranteed. And how do you know? I talk to these parents, right? So they say like we decided, of course not, they were not religious back then, and they say, yeah, we wanted to give our children freedom, and now they choose the freedom, and they Jews, but they say this Israel, they bomb poor Palestinians. And these parents want to have a harder, like how, like you're a Jew? No, I'm not a Jew, right? You're a Jew, but I'm not. I'm a free person. You always told me, or taught me that I have to be a free person. I have to decide for my own what I want to be. You understand? Of course, it's because of these poor parents. Now they want to bury themselves, but it's too late. You understand? So we don't do these mistakes. We tell children what is good, what is not good, and we prove, and we say many times, repeat, until they you wake up them in the middle of the night, and they will tell what is good, what is not good. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Shalom, Rabbi. Not sure if this question was ever raised. When Am Israel went through the split sea, it says that Miriam and all the women started to dance and sing.
Mm-hmm.
Were there not men around them?
That's a good point. Yeah, no, they were separate. They went to separate area. It's actually when they cross the sea. It's not cross the sea just for those who do not know. They would the whole route was like U shape. So they end up on the same shoreline, right? Like further, but exactly the same shore. It's not like they cross to the other side. Just so we know. So they went out, and women went separate with a Miriam and with what? With the musical instruments, right? And it says, the Medrash says, look, Men, it does not say that men also sang with the musical instruments. Why is that? And they explain because the women also always had a bigger emunah. They were looking forward for redemption. That's why they had musical instruments. They were ready, and men were taking money with themselves from the neighbors, all these good things, and women took musical instruments because they expected this journey not to be just a 3-day journey, but they expect complete redemption. That's women of the women, and we have the video about it, that we're going to be saved. The last generation, the generation of Mashiach, we're going to save because of the women, because of the righteousness of the women, right? So they had the Imanah then, and they should have Imanah now as well. Of course, the men also have to work on themselves, but the women were always they are always more spiritual, right?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So on the issue of women playing musical instruments, if, say, the guy and is good at singing, he's a good singer, and his wife knows how to play, I don't know, the piano or guitar or whatever, are they allowed to do this like publicly? Her playing the instrument and the guy singing?
No, it's not. It's not appropriate. Why? Because usually people look at the performers, right? And even if his wife is very modest, but they're going to look at her. She's on a stage, and not appropriate.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, okay. Next question. Is the wife allowed to play musical instrument in front of the husband when she's niddah?
Yes, yeah, there is no problem. There's no problem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, I have this other question from another book that I was reading, and I found this part a little bit strange, if you will. There's this part where it's describing how Yaakov Avinu refrained himself from rebuking Reuven from moving his bed up until the moment he was about to die. So it says that after 50 years, when he was close to his death, he rebuked Reuven and punished him. And then it goes, rebuke should only be delivered close to a person's death. I was thinking, is this right? I mean, are we supposed to swallow these things up until we're about to die, especially this type of behavior?
So the continuation of that medrash is, it's actually said because Yaakov Avinu was afraid that Reuven, if he will rebuke him hard, he's going to run away and join Esau. You understand? So that's he was afraid to lose his son, and plus it's known that Reuven was one of the first Baal Teshuvah, so he did Teshuvah. He did right away. So he was very remorseful and what he did, and you can see it right in the story of Yosef. Right, so it says Reuven sent on like in the cell of the story of the cell of Yosef. So one of the Medrash says that he was actually doing teshuvah, right? That's why he did not want to sit with them when they eat and stuff like that. So that's one of the explanations. So he did teshuvah. So there was no point to rebuke. But what Yaakov said that that the problem is Reuven. So, but it was like after long after he was punished, in a sense that Yaakov gave the firstborn rights to Yosef. You understand? So it's not like he's punishing. So he said, Reuven, your problem is you're like this like water, like you're always in a rush, like hot head, like you always need to use like you always acting without thinking. That's the issue. You understand? So you have to like when something happen and you don't understand, don't react right away. Ask questions. You understand? So that's why a person like that, he cannot be a leader, right? If he's is he going to be very impulsive? Like who needs a leader like that? He's going to he's going to kill everybody. He said, okay, somebody insulted him. He said, okay, he would say, go to war, kill. You don't do that. You understand? So it's not a good leader. A good leader is Yosef. He's a good leader. Right. So okay, so to answer to a question, or it's proper to rebuke right away. But if you see that a person did meant his ways and he already did to show, what is the point to rebuke? Right. So that's what the story of Reuven.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Clarifying, Baruch HaShem.
Okay.
So, next question. Okay, they're still typing. I have another question.
Okay, go ahead.
So, on this part of the Mishnah about the sacrifices that we read on Shaharis, it says, there's this part that it says that a person has to take a korban because of cohabiting with a married slave. Why does it say married? Why does it say slave?
So okay, so that's so the situation, and that it's Mishnah Zavachim, right? So the situation is as follows: he has a Jewish slave, so a Jew can become a slave when he is stole from somebody, right? And he cannot pay back double, right, or five times worth. Depends, like if it's 5 for a cow and 4 for a sheep, right? If they stole and they slaughter it, or they sold it, right? Or if they just found it alive in their possession, he just have to pay double, right? Or he stole other objects and he has to pay double, and he can, for whatever reason, so they sell him to slavery, right? So, and he becomes Eved Ivri, like a Jewish slave, or somebody. It's one scenario. Another scenario, when somebody is very, very poor, and he cannot pay his own bills, right? Does not apply to women, only to men, right? So they can sell themselves into the servitude, right? Him and the whole family to somebody. I said, look, I want to be your slave. Just pay me money so I can pay my creditors, and I'm going to work for you like 6 years and more. You understand? So that's how a person can become like Jewish slave. And in case of the first scenario, when he was sold for the crime of stealing, so as we understand, the guy. The owner is actually got himself a master, as our sages say, because he has to pay all of the expenses of this guy. If he has a family, he has to bring the family in, has to pay medical, food, and he has. If he eats meat, he cannot give him just chicken. He has to give him the same meat. If he has one pillow, he has to give him one pillow. So if he has this blanket, he has to give the other guy the same blankets and stuff like that. So that's. It's not so easy it's not so profitable to have a Jewish slave, right? And but let's say he went into servitude by himself without his wife, so the wife stays where she is, and this new owner can assign to this guy a non-Jewish slave woman. So she's a Canaanite, she's not Jew for 100%. So she's not a Jew. And he's a Jew, and he would live with her as a husband and wife, and make babies. So, and these babies, like when the mother is not Jew, father is a Jew, they belong to her. I mean, but she's a slave, so it belongs to the owner. So at least he has some profit that he has this what is it, free slaves, right? Okay, so that's the marriage situation that we're talking about, and so she's a wife, but she's a wife and not wife. Okay, so that's the situation. So she's a sign. Let's put it not she's a semi-married. Let's put it this way, right? So and this guy, the owner of the both of the slaves, so he had relations with this girl, basically, that he already assigned to a Jewish slave. Okay, so that's so she's a semi-married. So if she would be Jewish, they would deserve death penalty if she would be married. But in this case, he has to bring this korban. Okay, that's the Mishnah.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So in case the guy does not have a Jewish slave and he has only her as a slave, this non-Jewish woman, and he of course cohabits with this person, considering she's technically not married according to the description of Torah just said, wouldn't he have to bring the korban as well for it?
Wait, are you talking about the owner of the slaves?
Yes, the owner, if he cohabits with his woman.
Yes, yes. He would need to bring a korban. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So why is it not mentioned in the Mishnah then?
But what does it say in the Mishnah? How does it say?
It only says a korban for cohabiting with a married slave. That's the only thing that it says.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a korban for this kind of situation as we described. So she's married to, like, assigned. I don't want to say married because there's no such a thing about as a marriage between a non-Jew as a Jew. But she's you see, she was semi-converted. So it's not that she's not 100% Jew and she's not 100% non-Jew, because she was semi-converted, and if something happened, then she would get the freedom. For example, the owner can free her. He'll write her the bill of emancipation, and then she can go, right? She can go free, no problem. Right? So in this case, she would become 100% Jew. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So next question, Shamtulav. If we are very particular about the things we buy, for example, particular colors, design that we like, etc., we tend to spend relatively long time when picking things. But once we pick the item, we will stick to it and use it for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Is this considered overindulgent on materials?
I don't know if a person enjoys that, like this process, and does not take days and months, maybe hours and maybe hours. I don't think it's a problem, right? It says that three things that make a person, man at least, happy. So what his house meaning the place where he lives, so it must be beautiful. His utensils, whatever his utensils, and his wife. Right, so when a person has beautiful utensils, unless right, so that's very good. That every time he's enjoys. There is no problem with that, and especially if it people pick as persons have maybe once in 10 years, 15 years, they spend several hours. I mean, some people watch TV for 7 hours a day. So of course, if it's whatever they do in middos, there is no problem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Shankalov. Question about Jewish slave.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why when the Jew becomes a slave, assuming he is married, being with a non-Jewish female slave is no longer a karet sin. Similarly, why is the owner allowed to be with a non-Jewish female slave? Ishur Goya is such a serious sin. Why is it not longer applicable?
Okay, so the first case, we said that owner can assign this Jewish guy, because as we said, first of all, maybe I was not clear. This owner losing money on this slave, right? It's one headache. This one big headache. This Jewish slave, right? Of course, so he said at least maybe I would get some compensation if he is going to bring me children in the world, maybe 2 or 3 children. So that's they're going to be next slaves, right? So that's very good. But it only works when, in what case, when he's married, right? Because when he was single, the owner would not be allowed to assign him a slave woman. Why? Because it says when he's going to fall in love, whatever it means, and he said, I don't want to separate from this woman, right? So on another hand, when he has a wife and she's in another town and or like in another province or something, right? And he, of course, he has attachment to his wife and he has a kids, but now he was forced to do that, so he would live with her, with this girl. You understand? So, but if he was single, he would not be allowed, because the bond is going to make with this slave woman, and it would not be enough incentive for him to go free to his family. That's the thing. That's okay. First part. So only to married men, and men according to the Torah is allowed to have multiple wives. So, and as we said, that woman, she's a semi-Jewish that if when buying this Canaanite slave, they call it Canaanite, but like a non-Jewish slave, they had to accept the Torah upon them. It's like in some sense of conversion. You understand? So, and since man is allowed to have several wives, so that there is no problem with this Jewish slave. Why this what is it, owner was allowed to be with her? He was not allowed. The reason he is bringing korban, because he transgressed. You understand? But he transgressed, but she was not a married woman, so she was a sign woman. So that's a little complicated, but that's what it is. So if she would marry it, as we said before, he would get the death penalty. Right? But in this case, he just brings the korban. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So on this issue of Jewish slaves, I was wondering what happens to the Olam Haba of a Jew that decides to remain a slave after 7 years when he gets his ear pierced and everything. What happens to his Olam Haba? Does he get the same Olam Haba of a Jew, or he?
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's a Jewish slave who for example, he got attached to his new wife, right? And he said after the 6 years of servitude, he said, I'm not going to leave. So I want to stay. I want to stay here. So they pierce his ears, and he can stay until Yovel year, until the 50th year. So after 50th year, he must go home. That's it. That's enough. I mean, if it's going to be in his lifetime, you understand? Maybe if it's he went to servitude in the year number 2, right, from the previous Yovel, so most likely he's not going to live until the next, but the next year. But what happened to his Olam Haba? So he's a Jew, and he must observe all of the Jewish laws, Right? The only thing that he's permanently living in somebody else's house and does somebody else's job, right? He worked for somebody, but he's obligated to pray three times a day. Maybe some prays a little shorter, but tefillin, everything. He observing holidays. Okay. So it's not. For him, it's not. If it's normal boss, it's not that bad. He has a constant employment. Does not have to care about anything. So what could be better? Just go work and that's it. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So I have this question about. Okay, so let's say if a guy is getting to know someone, and if this guy is willing to let go of the lack of physical attraction because he doesn't find this woman very appealing, physically speaking, if he's willing to let go of this lack of attraction because he likes a lot her personality, would this have, does this relationship have some sort of a future? But this is like some temporary thing that the guys into just for a brief moment, and later on the guy's just gonna be effective because of the lack of physical attraction.
That's not such a simple question as we all understand. So I would say that it depends on the person. So if a person is very spiritual, so this physical attraction is going to develop. Right? We had this series of clips one of the things, I don't remember how we say it, but that HaShem instilled in everybody like four things. First, like a person like endowed like in very very like a special love in the mind of the person once where he lives, right? That's why HaShem was able to populate the whole world. Otherwise, people, and you see the people live in a desert. Why would somebody live in a desert or in North Pole? Does not make any sense, right? People would move where the good land and stuff like that. But you see, people live everywhere, right? So because they got used to it and they love it. And one more thing that it's a blessing that person likes his wife. Right, he get attracted. It's a blessing from HaShem. So he would not see her deficiencies. Right, and that's a special blessing. If he's spiritual, she's spiritual. That's if they connect on the spiritual level and on a soul level. So meaning physical attraction that like wanes down after some years. Like you got used to anything. But if on spiritual level is still closely attracted, so that's the most important thing. But again, if person is spiritual, if the person is very very material, and I know people like that, so that's nothing is going to help that person, even if they have spiritual and physical attraction at this point. So this is going to wane down. She's going to lose or gain 5 pounds, 20 pounds, and that's it. He's going to go to his old ways before he got married. That's unfortunately that's what happened in this world. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Okay.
So before I jump on the other questions on the board, on this same issue of finding the personality of a potential shidduch attractive. So if the guy has always been more attracted to the personality of the woman than the physical, is this an indication that the guy is like, he has like some sort of feminine personality, if you will?
No. Why would you say so? I'm not sure. Can you explain why would you draw such a conclusion? Just he draws to her personality. Personality is personality. Okay.
Yeah, I said because this is in the case of women, this is the this is their approach when dating. They are not much into the physical. If they find the guy like decently, physically speaking, like in a decent shape, they would care more about personality. But this is not so much with men. We are more into physicality. I mean,
no, it's only the people who are far away from Torah, yes. But if a person is into Torah, like the famous example is Avraham Avinu, right? He knew, like he found out how beautiful his wife is only when he was 70 something years old. Said, now I know that you're beautiful. Okay, because the whole world knew that Sarah was beautiful. Everybody knew it. He would, yeah. So Torah would not say something like unless it was 100% true. So he said, now I know. Right? So he was not into looks. So was he feminine? No. He was very masculine. Right?
Thank you very much, Reuven. But I mean, that was Abraham Avinu. What about a guy that is more average?
Okay, so no, but
to an Amorite, if you will.
No, so that's what it is, and you build the wife, right? You give your compliment, and she would change. She would try to look better for her husband. Whatever she would, you can beautify anybody, right? So she would try to look more beautiful, more appealing, to him. That's it. That's what counts. Right.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Okay, next question. The board. How's the proper rebuking to a Garim community that doesn't have fruit juice in their community, but still have to perfect some halachot or behavior? Yet they don't have bad middos. Just a bit of ignorance.
Apologies, I didn't get the question. Could you do it again? Sorry, again.
How's the proper rebuking to a Garim community that doesn't have...
One second. Gerim, so the whole community are the converts? Is it what...
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, so step back. So the whole community are the converts. So how we should rebuke the whole community? Okay, go ahead, please. Just a little slower because I think it's a very unusual situation. Okay, go ahead.
To a Garim community that doesn't have fruit juice in their community.
So basically, I mean, a person who converts become a Jew. So basically, they converted, but they did not become observant. That's the way I understand so far situation. Okay. I mean, after the person converts, he becomes or she becomes Jew. So it's not like getting. I mean, that's. I mean, if needed to put an application, yes, but person has to get rid of this mentality. So once after conversion, after person did everything correctly, it was like everything was kosher. So that's it. So person is a Jew. Okay. So but let's see. We got the situation, and there are no kosher people, like no from Jews, no God-fearing people. Okay, go ahead. Then what?
So that doesn't have fruit juice in their community, but still have to perfect some halachot or behavior. Yet they don't have bad middos, just a bit of ignorance. Then our friend adds, they're very observant, but they don't have perfected some halachot yet.
So, I mean, that's not a problem. I mean, so somebody have to teach them. So many people, they as we said a few times in the past, they do not know what to ask. So somebody have to step forward and said, or start sharing some lectures, for example, or ask somebody to speak to the community if a person is knowledgeable and about such topic, because many people they don't even know there is such an issue, especially they look at each other and they more or less on the same level of observance, and they don't see the difference. And if somebody is more observant in different community, they say, those fanatics, that's like, it's abnormal people. Like we are normal and they're abnormal. So what do we have to do with them? Understand? So I would say start gradually. Rebuke is not a good word, because they do not know what is wrong. So, and if they do not go against halacha, right, like a big halacha, like known, something known, so that's we will try to just share the information about different mitzvahs. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, on this issue of a community of converts, Pirkei Avot some time ago taught me that a community has to have like Jews from birth to be part of the community for it to be a kosher community according to Shulchan Aruch. This is
yeah. Because I mean, yes, you're right. Otherwise, it is forbidden. So converts only can be very jealous, and they would do like opposite of what halacha said. So halacha is like very straightforward. Do this. I mean, if you want to do extra, it's do it at home so nobody can see you. There is no problem. But in siddur, it's like push it on everybody's as halacha. That's the problem. And I hear it every time. It's not like I'm trying to listen to somebody's conversation. So most of the people ignorant. Even they have title of rabbi. They don't know basics. I almost fainted a few times already. Two rabbis were talking behind my back. I don't know why they should. Of course, I mean, I turned around. I thought maybe they trying to see my reaction. I did not say anything, but it was ridiculous what they say. I mean, maybe the Lerner was 25 years or 40 years ago, but for sure it's not halacha, whatever they say. Not one, not the other. Okay. So, I mean, what do you expect of getting? Unless they learn seriously, and plus you need some balance from people who are born Jews and who are observant. Right, so it would be healthy balance, but it's getting only they're going to create their own religion, just a matter of time. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
So would it have to be a balanced ratio between Jews that are born Jews and converts? Like we have.
I think so. At least I'm not sure whether there is no real percentage, but at least rabbi must be, or gabbai, like some the leaders they must lead the strong leaders, for sure. Right, and a few other people I would say.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, your friend adds the case I'm referring to is an unusual case of a community with Yirat Shamayim that has been recognized from the Rabbanut. They're like one in a zillion, or princess.
Okay. All right. So that's I mean that's a different story. I mean, of course. I mean, have to be a check balance. It must be somebody who overlooks that. Because of the zealousness, people can go overboard. That's what I say. They can create their own religion based on Judaism. So, and they would force other people to do that, and it's absolutely not proper. Right? There is one thing that every community they have their own minchag. For example, in the shul that I do, they do a little different on Shabbos. I mean, one part, one section, they do it in a different place. Even in all of the Sidurim, it's like it says, okay. I mean, I got used to. I don't mind. In a show that I went before that, they did also different. Okay, I mean, same Siddur but different. Whatever they do, I mean, I'm fine. That's not the problem. I'm sure there is a one. This is holy minchag and that, but so when people like start like would start like make something up, that's too much. And I see in a few shows like there's one show not too far from me, so they been like I don't know, like what is it? Not reform, but conservative, whatever it means. And then they decided to go. To do Orthodox, and they hire an Orthodox rabbi, very important lineage, very famous lineage actually, and he was a learned person, like amazing personality, and he was trying to do good job. He moved the whole family next to the shul, actually, not too close, but doesn't matter. The family would come, very nice family, and what happened? One second. Okay, and many of them were Baal Teshuvah, not some of them, and they decided to do something extra that would attract people. So and what they would do, like I went there one time and I say it's never again I'm going to do, like because they do the giyur their own way. So on Shabbos they would read the list. I went there a few times. So the list of the people who has a yard site on that week. It's like, I don't know, like 30 people, 40 people, 50 people, like from the beginning of the shul, and the shul is like 60, 70 years old, like you normal. Like, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes the guy was reading. I thought he's going to stop after like maybe like, I don't know, yard site of the people who are present, like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but that's it. But you see, like people don't know the Shulchan Aruch. Of course, it's not the most learned people. They don't know like how to conduct. So it says Shulchan Aruch, you don't burden the community. So it's Shulchan Aruch is actually said you're not allowed to sing the song on Shabbos. You're not allowed to sing prolong. So some are trying to show off the chazanut and stuff like that. So we don't need that. I mean, if community enjoys it, yes, but otherwise, like do it like rabbis short, do speech like normal. You have 15 minutes, whatever the people use it. 15 minutes, 25. So don't do 40 minutes. Like don't burden the people. Same with he's going to read list for me like you normal. Who needs this list? I mean, send everybody by email this list. I mean, I don't care. You understand? I need to go home. I need to learn Torah. I need to finish Parsha. I have a million things to do. Like, you understand? So they gave this Baal Teshuvah to run the show. Nothing good came out of it. I mean, okay. At least me personally, I'm never going to go there. Okay. What else?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So next question, thank you very much for the question. In the reverse scenario where a Goya acquired a Jewish slave, and the Jew is unfortunately not freed quickly enough, so that the Goya master is intimate with him, is it correct?
No, it's forbidden for a woman to buy a man. I'll say just predict the situation. So a woman is not allowed to acquire a man slave, and we don't sell women. So if a woman stole, for example, right from whoever, from man, from another woman, so it's not we're not allowed to sell her as a slave. So she's going to be in debt until the rest of her life, right? That's a short, that's complete answer to this question. Go ahead.
Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Uncle Rav. I wonder to what extent should the wife beautify herself for the husband? If it's within her physical potential, should she strive to shape her appearance into the husband's taste? For example, through exercising, cosmetic, dressing, etc. What about plastic surgery?
Plastic surgery, I would say it's too much unless there is some very great need. So in this case, we go case by case because there's a plastic surgery and plastic surgeries. But these exercises, cosmetics, I mean, if she's willing to do that and it would make him happy, yeah, why not? Right? There's no problem. But if it's like she's they become like addict and it's like too much pressure on her, that's absolutely not necessary. Okay. We have this lady in our house, single lady, right? So she was dating, I don't know for how long she was dating, and she would ask my wife, what is it in there? What is it in the recipe? I'm not sure what we tried to ask her what exactly she's looking for, but she was so vague. She said, no, I have allergy on this and I don't eat that, and they don't like too much because of her diet. And she looked, I don't know, whatever she looked, but it was I think psychological. So he was trying to keep in shape. It was too much. It was okay. Bread. What is the minimum amount of bread I must eat? I said, okay, so like a tiny piece, like kizais you can eat. Okay, that's much. So if a person does not cross over this line and does not talk about like the diet all day long with her husband, with everybody else, so that's not a problem. If she wants to do that, absolutely. Yeah, to be pretty for her husband, and husband must also he must acknowledge it, must make compliments every time, buy her dresses, buy whatever she wants, and that's obligation. And same with this girl, but maybe not very pretty, right? So he gives you a compliment, and HaShem is going to make you pretty in his eyes. So it's only a matter of time. That's compliments and buy her things, and things also they beautify people, right? So if you like have a beautiful clothing, you put on not such a nice looking person, he or she is going to be nicer for sure, right?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
I was wondering, would it be risky for the husband to throw a compliment while she's niddah?
No, that's usually not a problem. See, with niddah, it's not so dangerous. Why? Because she's not completely forbidden to him. Right? It's only a matter of 10 days, 7 days, 5 days, 3 days, whatever, and they're going to be together. That's not a problem. The problem when Satan kicks in is when it's absolutely forbidden. When she's a co-worker, that's completely forbidden. When she's not Jewish, that's completely forbidden to him. That's when Satan is going to kick in and start working. But in this case, no, she's allowed, but temporarily not allowed. So I mean, only like crazy people would of course she they must know each other, and if this compliment is going to trigger something, yeah, of course, stay away from this. But for most of the couples, it's not going to create any issue.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question is Uncle Rav regarding community full of converts.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the same kosher community issue applied to Kusari's case.
Yes, yeah, Kusari case. Yeah. So, I mean, that's you see, they disappear from the face of the earth. I mean, they would the people get excited and this and that, and then they decided not to be excited. And so many people contacted me that they want to do conversion. I have this welcome to Judaism, right? So I would send them. They would listen, watch it, and 99% no no second contact. You understand? So why people get excited, and then they saw that it's actually not one time thing. It's not like very interesting like a Kabbalistic lecture, whatever they watching before. It's like everyday job, right? So for example, I have to get up in order for me to pray with the minion, like the way appropriate for me. I have to get up 4:30, at least my alarm clocks. So for many people, 4:30 alarm, what are you normal? And so like, okay, yes. For me, it's not an option. It's not like just because I had to do a lot of things and I went to bed to around midnight. It's not because of that. I'm not going to get up at 4. I mean, I don't get up at 4:30. Maybe like I need 15 minutes to get my conscience back. Like, but still, it's not like I'm going to miss a minion. But for the other people, oh, you have to like Jewish men. I'm talking about men, right? Women, it's a little easier. But man, I have to get up every day. Every day. Can I do the Shema? They show me that it's some Jews, unfortunately, this booklet. Some Bresler gave him a booklet, right? About I mean, it's Baruch Hashem. They gave him a booklet about Shema, but I mean, if you 7 years old, not forget 7, like if you 4.5 years old and you just learn how to read, and they have a Shema with like big letters, yeah, that's. I guess that's amazing. But when you grow up, man, and when you want to be a Jewish man, and you're going to say Shema, that's it. And for many people, that's too much. You understand? But if they all of them like that, they would they're not going to pray every day. But if for example, in a place where I pray, there are some people, I'm not sure how religious they are. No, I mean, they show us Shabbos, but they have this in their blood for many generations. So what Jew does, he goes to shul in the morning and at night, and like a soldier, like a robot, right? Maybe they would watch TV here and there, but to miss a minyan, I mean, unless they're sick or like some other things, then I would not miss a minyan. Understand? So that's a big difference. Somebody get excited, like we have this expression FFF, from Friday, right? Somebody gets excited on Friday, Shabbos, like they're already from. But these people who are doing it for many generations, that's like a core. Like you don't have to ask them. Of course, they give somebody is elderly, they give somebody a lift. Are you going to pick him up, or I'm going to pick him up? Even like that's this brotherhood. Understand? So I mean, so I'm just saying I'm not special. I mean, by the time I come to show, just so you know, there are already 3 or 4 people there, and I come like 20 minutes before 25 minutes before prayer starts. There's like 4 people already, 4 people. Understand? That's so for a new person, for new convert, for new Balchua to come to this state of mind. If people around them is exactly lazy as he, like what do you mean? Like can we start at 10 or something? I'm working. So what are you working? What do you mean you working? So we don't cancel Judaism because somebody is working or somebody is busy or somebody does not feel well, right? So that's what in my show. Somebody is sick, well, they come with a mask, and they would stay on the women's section. That's it. Maybe they cough, maybe not, but of course, there's respect to the whole community to protect everybody. I mean, and I mean personally, I respect these people very much. I mean, it's very, very considerate of them, right? But they still they come and pray, and right. And you need time to develop it. So if your community is like full of comers and people who just got excited, so many of them are not going to come because what is the excitement? Like prayer on Monday or Tuesday? What is it like? Exactly the same prayer? Is it different? No, it's exactly the same. Understand? So that's why we need mixture.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question for the left. I thought I heard it's mandatory for there to be a 2-week intermission between husband and wife concerning Taharat Mishpacha. Taharat HaMishpacha. Was I mistaken?
Say yeah, 2 week in intermission. What does it mean?
Intermission.
I'm not sure. What does it mean?
I think the time gap.
2 weeks intermission. Oh yeah. Okay. I apologize. Yeah. I mean, but plus or minus. Yeah, 2 weeks. I mean, from the beginning, right? Yeah. Okay. So I apologize. So I got the question. So in my examples that I gave, it does not mean that the compliment starts on the first day. So usually, for some women, it's very painful. So they usually start don't talk to me for a few days because she's such a pain. Okay, so if usually they would not react on comments positively, right? But after a few days, like even if she's clean, right? She's so the blood the bleeding stops. So but we still need these clean days after that. Right, so she's not bleeding, but she still needs to count the clean days. So, but even she's not bleeding until she goes to mikvah, she's called niddah. So that's why I said that 3 days, 2 days, 7 days. That's why I gave this example. Okay, but usually it's about 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question. In regards to a woman purchasing a Jewish man in a country where they legalized it contrary to the halacha, does that mean that the man is permitted or obligated to free himself? Does it in fact count as kidnapping?
So okay. So one second. So we said the Jewish woman is not allowed to purchase a Jewish man as a slave. So here's the thing. Okay, so we said that there are two scenarios. One scenario is a Beis Din sells him to pay to the victim of this theft, right? Okay, so Beis Din is not going to do it. If person sells himself, I mean, Beis Din is going to protest. I mean, if they know, right? But if he does whatever he does against the law, I mean, what can we do? Right? So I mean, people don't observe Shabbos, so it's not like much we can do. So I'm not if I understand the question correctly. So the law of the land. So we're obligated to abide by the law of the land unless it contradicts the land the laws of the Torah, right? And one example is actually from my morning class today. So we learned the laws of the robbery, right? And it says that you're not allowed, and there is one section is the laws of the thief, and another section laws of the robber. So the difference between thief, it's one who does it like stealthily when nobody sees, in the night when nobody's there, and robber is like in a broad daylight. I'm taking it. I'm not asking you. Here's my knife, here's my gun, and I'm taking it. So that's the robber, right? And it says that and many halachas like very similar. And halacha, one of the halachas that we were covering today, it's hilchas gzeila ve'aveda. So it's laws of robbery and returning the stolen property, right? So we said that you're not allowed to buy from a thief or a robber. Why? And Rambam explains very, very, very simple, because you encourage him to do it again. So if he would steal something and there is no, or rob somebody, there is no customer, so he would stop, like, right? It's obvious. and we're not allowed to derive any benefit from stolen things, right? Even if you did not buy, but it's somebody else, like you're not allowed. So, for example, your neighbor stole somebody's horse, right? So you're not allowed to use this horse, right? Is it so? It's in the possession of your neighbor who is a robber, but you're not allowed to use it, right? An example that I'm leading to is actually said if it was a river or some brook or something, right, and stream, well, and somebody has a property connected to this body of water, and they have palm tree. So if a government official, right, or a king ordered to chop palm tree on your territory, like, and make a bridge out of your woods, right, your trees, there is no problem. Everybody can use it. Right, and the explanation was because it's laws of the land. The king can seize your property, or a local government official can seize your property and use it for the not for themselves, but for community needs. You understand? So in this case, yeah, you like, it's since it is a law of the land, even though we don't agree with that so much, but it does not contradict the laws of the Torah, right? So that's not a problem, right? So we can go by the laws of the land. But in case when this law of the land contradicts the laws of the Torah, when Torah says you're not allowed to, a woman should not buy a man's slave, so like if she does it anyway, so she's just a sinner. That's it. Okay. You're welcome.
Next question, Shankar. In regards to the Shana Rishana, is it forbidden to do any financial transactions?
On when? I didn't get. On when?
Shana Rishana.
Shana Rishana. Well, can please the person explain what does it mean? Shana Rishana. It's not. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Rabbi. So, yep, we'll have to wait for a friend to clarify.
Okay, yeah, we need exactly. It's like it's okay. No, let them clarify. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Any other questions?
Next question, Shankar. I learned in many countries' history, it is common for the king to use eunuch in the harem. Is this permitted for goyim?
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, that they're not allowed to mutilate themselves. Nobody's allowed. Especially, I mean, let's put it this way: we're not allowed to do it to animals. You know, I think that the word eunuch or something. I'm not sure 100%, right? So, but we're not allowed to do it to animals. Forget about people, right? So, but again, the people do whatever they want to do, so they don't ask exactly, right?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, on the issue of Shana Rishana, our friend is referring to the first year of marriage. It says during the first year of marriage.
Okay. So now, so what about it?
So, friend is asking whether it is forbidden to do any financial transactions.
Financial transaction. I mean, person is allowed to do financial transaction. There are some limitations. So he would not go to the army. He's not allowed to go to the lengthy business trips. Something. So he's not allowed to leave his wife. But financial transaction, I mean, he's allowed to work. He has to provide to his wife. So maybe if a person like us give specific example, that there's no problem. I mean, unless there is some case that I cannot think of, but it should be no problem. If a person can buy a house or can sell his stocks or sell his car or something, those are financial transactions. There is no problem. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, I was wondering, since I started the process of conversion, I've been dealing with a lot of tiredness, much more than before, and it's like I cannot make it like standard. I cannot just get used to it in any way, shape, or form. I mean, no matter how much I try to sleep or whatever I try to make my sleep tighter. So I was thinking about Psalms, I think it's 25, that where David HaMelech says to HaShem that please see my affliction and my tiredness, my fatigue. This is the word that he uses. Of course, that was him because he didn't have time at all. He was busy all the time. So, but I was thinking, do we have to get used to this tiredness all the time, or this is just like a byproduct of our unorganized schedule, if you will?
It's not unorganized. I mean, maybe this too, but the thing is, when the person learns Torah, whatever we do here, and so it's very, very tiring. So if somebody is yawning when we learn, especially halacha, that's absolutely normal, because it's require a lot of like brain power. And is this famous story about Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa, I think it was him, when he came home, right? The story when he did not want to greet these rabbis, when and then his wife came out beautiful, and I just remind you the story, and then he did not have a lot of food, all right, and he would give the the younger boy, he has two boys, right, the bigger piece, and the older boy he would give the smaller piece. Right, so the rabbis say, why would you divide? This guy is 2 times bigger, and he works in the field, right? And that guy's the tiny one that learned Torah. Why would you give him bigger? Because he said yes. When you learn Torah, it requires much more energy than when you're working physically, even, right? And the person who is working physically, of course, he's around the house. He can get something to eat. He can help himself. But mother is going to feed him. But this little one who goes to yeshiva, nobody is going to feed him, right? First of all, but it's not the most important. The most important that the tiredness comes from learning of the Torah. It requires the brain power. People who do nothing with their life, with their brain, they're never tired. They're always full of energy, right?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So that's all I have. Could I have some advice or some vitamin? I mean, could I sometimes mention this pills that have caffeine that kind of release progressively throughout the day?
I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, I mean, it's I mentioned it's only for the people who need caffeine during the fasting. But otherwise, I mean, do what we do normally. Me personally, I'm always tired. I mean, but you start doing something and you get some energy. Learn Torah, get tired, get energy back and forth, give and take. It's always like that, right? So you ask HaShem, you pray to HaShem and ask Him for the strength, for able to learn Torah. Right, but it's for sure the Torah drains a person. This mental stimulation drains a person energy. Right, you could sit in a chair and you'll be tired. Right, and person work the whole day in the field and building the buildings and building a roof or something. He comes full of energy. He took a shower. It's like he's ready to jump. Right, so this person will sit at the table the whole day. He just wants lay down on the couch. Okay, so I would say after a session of learning, take a walk, do some exercise. It should help. Right.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, okay, that was the last question. I don't see more questions on the board. Yeah, I think there's a few of our friends still typing a question. Their questions.
Okay, so let's wait a few seconds. Yeah. So again, being tired is, it's normal, but yeah. But I don't think if person is going to sleep more, it's going to help. So, but on one hand, on the other hand, so a person is not allowed to kill himself, right? Themselves with this deprivation of sleep. So you have to check your like health, like balance, like how much you need to sleep, right? And sleep that amount minimum. So some people need to sleep 8 hours. If less, that they're going to collapse, right? They would not be able to perform. So what was the point to sleep 7 hours if you're going to be like sleepwalking the whole day? It does not make sense. So better to sleep more, right? Sleep more to get your energy, whatever you need, and it will be more productive in the rest of the hours. If you can go with 6 hours, go with 6 hours. If you need whatever sleep at night and have a half an hour nap during the day, so do this half an hour nap, 40 minutes, whatever you need, half an hour, no problem. It's about the performance, like what you can do, not how much you sleep, but what you can do. Okay, what else? Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Rabbi. So, the next question from Klav. Is it correct that the Torah requires a husband please his wife more than it requires the wife to please her husband?
Yes, it's actually that's what he signs in Ksuba. So in Ksuba, he signed 3 things that he has. He's obligated to feed her, right? Feed her, clothe her. Clothes meaning to provide like for a house, basic eating utensils, sleeping utensil, well, like simple, like basic, whatever needs, and intimate relations. Ana meaning a pleasure. Yeah, so it's her prerogative, not his. Of course, he wants he like HaShem create the man in a way that he's craving more the relationship, but it's when a woman is the one who regulates, right, basically. But if she's a righteous woman, so she would comply with him every time when he needs, because like to relieve pressure, which is good. Yeah. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So the last question on the board, very special question, says, does one get more energy from seeing their shidduch? We're not supposed to imagine a woman, of course, but sometimes when the idea of my own family comes into my head,
Mm-hmm.
I have like a mamash, a furnace of energy, in contrast to 2 seconds prior when I was about to collapse from exhaustion. Does the Torah speak on this phenomenon?
I mean, whatever helps, but if it's not going to bring person to a proper thoughts, whatever works, yeah. But again, so I would say, well, one issue is if person imagine too much about this future family, and when the actual shidduch is going to like get on horizon, so maybe it's this shidduch is not going to be according to the dream. That's the issue. You understand? Maybe if leave it shapeless. You understand? No special shape, no special attachment, nothing. So when somebody would come, a person would see as a real opportunity, and not and do not compare to their dreams. So that's the thing. As I heard from one Rabbi Kushner, Asher Kushner, it's very interesting. So he said, so people, especially new Balchua, they imagined, so they were in this field, like a secular life for a long time, and they would imagine Judaism like something like everybody's perfect, everybody say good morning, everybody's helping everybody like the yeshiva accept everybody, like there is no perfect, there's no problem with the children, nothing, like nobody cheats, everybody like, and then they come and they see that people in the community are not exactly according to their dreams, and they start cursing people, yelling at them, and the people do not listen, like, wow, what do you want from me, like and it's very interesting. He said that's the problem. There's no problem with the people. People are people. It's because you and your mind had this imagination that this perfect world. So now people do not live up to your imagination, and you blame them from that, which is not fair. It's a problem with you, not problem not with the people. People are people. Just because children jump on the couch does not make them bad children. Or they can learn to jump on the couch. What is the contradiction? You understand? Or they climb the walls. Okay, so they climb the walls because Baruch HaShem is always remember this person. So he had a child, and he was like very energetic. He was talking nonstop. So we used to be friends like many years ago, and younger child, right? And something happened. Maybe I said the story, and the boy became sick and could not walk, right? And then he most of the day he just lay in bed. And then somebody heard, somebody in the presence of the guy said, "Oh, these children drive me crazy. They jump, they scream, they yell, this and that." So the guy was joking. I mean, not joking. The Bible was complaining. This guy, with the tears in his eyes, he said, "You know what I give for my boy, to start jumping and and walking." So people just do not have this appreciation. And I never forget the look on his face and his teary eyes. That was wow, that's amazing. So just because they're Jewish children and they learn Torah does not mean that they're not going to break things, and they're going to always respect you because you're neighbors and say thank you and hello. Stop it, right? So that's about the dream. So dream is good, but remember, not nobody's perfect. Everybody have their flaws, and just be open. If a good shidduch come, God-fearing person, you can work with. But otherwise, if it's a person is not religious, but very much into their looks, so that's it's better to stay away from a person like that. Okay, that's it. We're done.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wrap it up?
Go ahead, please.
Not about specifically daydreaming about the family that we want, but our dreams, do they only count if we dream something 3 times in a row? What about if we dream not like the same dream, but a very similar dream 3 times, but not in a row? Does it still have some validity?
I think so. It depends on another. Yeah, it has some validity. Yes. It does not have to be in a row. Yes, but same if it's exactly the same details and somebody's are requesting you to do something, for example, that would have some validity.
Thank you, Reuven. I was just thinking, I had this dream 3 times, not in a row, as I said, of a woman that is taller than me, physically taller than me. Does this have some significance, or?
Nothing. What is the problem? Taller, shorter. It's not. It's not significant. If she's a God-fearing person, it's it's irrelevant. I mean, but if she's not, she's not getting fit, but it doesn't matter like what shape she is. So that's no shidduch there.
Okay. No, I was thinking that perhaps this is the dream. The dream is trying to tell me that she's like in a higher spiritual level than me. Then
maybe
perhaps
I don't know, and plus maybe to have an open mind. Just because somebody older than you, taller than you, does not mean that a person just writes off based on some superficial things. It's not right. So I mean, if HaShem sent this person into your life, somebody introduced you to that person, so you have to pay attention, right? Doing your investigation, not based on height or year of birth, right?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah, that was the last question.
All right, very nice. Thank you very much. Very good questions. Very interesting. Most of these questions I never heard in my life. Some of them I did, but from my learning, but many of them never. Baruch Hashem, thank you very much. So please join us tomorrow. We're going to learn Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We go back to Ribis. It's a very interesting topic. All right. Good night. Thank you.